Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. Got another fun project for you from the May 2025 Crafty Crew Kit from Crafty Stamp Co. Last time I made this adorable little post-it note holder, and this time we're going to make a fun card using some of the papers in the kit as well as some of the stamped images. I am going to be using a sketch to help me today. It's from September 2011 I Heart Sketches. And then I'm using a red card base. I thought red would make a good background for the card and happened to find a red card base in my stash. So decided to use it instead of a colored cardstock mat. And it's an A2 size card, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I'm going to be cutting all the pieces for my sketch here in the beginning. I end up using the white and pink polka dot as the longer piece on my card front and ended up cutting it 3 by 4 1/2 inches. And then I went with the baking utensils with it's the pattern with the spatulas and the spoons and the whisks that I cut down to 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then this piece that I'm cutting now, it's actually a partial piece that I had left from the last project that I made, and I thought it would be a good fit for the strip that goes across because it also brings in all the colors. And then this blue pattern, I cut two sizes of stitch circles just to see which one was going to work best. I figured I'd need the bigger one just because of the stamped images I wanted to use, but cut the smaller one too just in case the bigger one was too big, and ended up going with the 3 1/4 inch circle. Rounded the edges of all my pattern pieces, and now I'm going to just add them to my card front. And this is pretty close to real time. I will be doing some coloring here in a minute that I did speed up just because coloring's not not one of my strengths, so I didn't want that to be the focus. I kind of wanted the patterns in the paper and the images themselves and just the process and what's in the kit to be more of the focus. So, and speaking of the kit, like I said, I'm working with the May 2025 Crafty Crew Kit from Crafty Stamp Co. It's a fairly new subscription kit. It started in January of 2025, and it's an every other month subscription. So every other month you would get charged, and then you would receive a box full of crafty goodness. Each box tends to have a theme, and this month's theme is like baking and cooking. And then the box includes 2 4 by 6 inch stamp sets. So patisserie meadow, still not sure how to pronounce that. And then Sue E chefs are the 2 stamp sets, so you get the little baking girl and then these cute piggy chefs, along with some sentiments and other images on the stamp sets. And then they include crafty cuts, which is kind of like a matching SVG file that goes along with the stamps and acts as a die, but it's for your electronic cutting machine. So it cuts all the stamped images out for you, and you don't have to fussy cut. And then the box also includes the 6 by 6 paper pad. This month it is called Sugar and Spice. And then you'll also get a 6 by 6 stencil, and then usually some ribbon or twine along with it that kind of goes with either the colors or the theme of the box. And then another fun item is a mesh storage bag, and so it's just kind of a project bag that you can use to keep all of the kit contents in while you're working on it, and then it's something that can be reused going forward. So I love that part too, just because it's a practical item that comes in the kit, and it's something that you can always make use of in the future. So I did go with one of the little piggies, and I am coloring them up with some blue overalls. And then I also have this is from the Suey Chef stamp set, and then I have the stack of bowls that came from the Patisserie Meadow stamp set. And then I'm also going to be using the sentiment Life's Short, Lick the Bowl, and it is, I believe, is from the Patisserie Meadow stamp set as well. So kind of pulling images from both of the stamp sets here, and you know, doing some very basic coloring on them, and then we'll fussy cut them out. We are currently in the pre-order period for the May Crafty Crew Kit. So the pre-order period was April 1st through April 15th. That is the only time you can purchase the kit. It is exclusive. All of these items are exclusive to the kits themselves, so they're not going to be available in the shop individually, at least anytime soon. And they are only manufacturing or only creating enough kits to fill the pre-order. So there's not going to be any extra kits to purchase afterwards. So if you love what you're seeing here and in the playlist that's also linked in the description box below, then by all means hurry up and get your order in and take advantage of the kit. If you can get the kit a couple different ways. You can subscribe, and so that way every other month you automatically get your kit. It shows up in the mail, just, you know, wonderful crafty goodness showing up in your mailbox every other month. And you save 35% that way. If you just want to do kind of like kit by kit based on what the themes are, after you've seen all of the previews, then you still have a savings, but it's less. So you definitely get the best deal by going ahead and subscribing, and then that way you never miss out on one of these wonderful kits. So I'll have a link in the description box below for you that it's my affiliate link where you can order the May kit. And if you go to subscribe after April 15th, I believe you will just be eligible for the next kit. So that would be July, if my math is correct. I had this little banner or this little rectangle piece sitting on my desk left from my strip cut off. And so I just decided to create a little banner for that in the top right of the card. Just thought it would kind of pull some of those colors up through the card. Because while I like my red background, it just seems very stark compared to like the pretty patterns that I used. I have some white paper going on the inside so that I can include a message. And then I have like this really thin strip left from that polka dot paper that was also a scrap from my last project. And so I decided to just throw that on the inside here to bring some of those colors on the inside as well. And then I decided that I wasn't quite done. I wanted to bring in some white dots, and these are just some vinyl circles that I had cut from scrap vinyl. I do this a lot with smaller vinyl scraps and just like to have them in my stash as kind of non-dimensional enamel dots. So just thought I would pepper some of these around again to kind of balance out some of that stark red and just add some more embellishment. So now my card is done. At the end here, there will be a visual of more of what's in the kit for you. And please be sure to check out the link for the subscription to the kit in the playlist in the description box below, as well as the playlist for more inspiration on how to use this kit. I thank you guys so much for your time today, and I hope you all have a very crafty day.